Okay, all right, everyone's there. All right. And just skip this here. Okay. I guess Lolita, you want to run this because we have you and public safety today, and there's two people in public safety, but there's one of you. So I'll let you run this for now. Go ahead. Oh wait, we can't hear you. Can you hear
No,
us? Wait, she got put on her mute. No.
I got problems down on 32nd Street, Eddie.
Oh no. On Mermaid or Surf?
Mermaid. It's a shooting.
Oh, no.
It's I don't know if it's a shootout, but there's something going on.
I'll find out later from Pam Pettyjohn. She lives over there on Mermaid.
It actually says it's next to a smoke shop.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's not even good.
And then there's EMS and the firefighters on Bright Beach Avenue.
Oh,
Michael Quinn is here.
okay. Michael, good to see you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that because now I'm getting delays on the B and Q trains. They're saying there's a smoke condition, and right now we're holding B's and Q's at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Lolita. Is
All right,
it
let's start this
any,
nonsense.
all right. Is it any better? No. Okay.
Lolita, I suggest you go out and come back in to try to reconnect because you're not muted.
Oh, Michael, hello.
You got two Michaels. You got to distinguish which Michael you're referring to. See, wait for Lolita to come back. Not sure. Okay, can you hear us, Lolita?
Eddie, if she can't get on, can we just start
Okay.
on, we'll do public safety first?
Well, it's going to be combined, but yes, we can. If you want to start off, let's go for it.
All right, so let's just open the meeting because, and I'll turn it over to you because you're
Yeah,
the one who
you
has
got
to
it.
do this,
Okay.
okay?
Open meeting.
Meeting is open.
Yeah, thank you. All right, everyone, thank you for coming to the last of the capital budget and expense budget priorities for CB13. We have been doing this for the last 3 weeks. And thank you for being patient with us going through each committee. Right now, I'm going to share the screen that says the priorities that we have here. As you know, for the people who are new, this is what we do every year to give, as we would say, a wish list to the city. As you can see, this is all from the back. In the top part is CB13's listing. We have priorities from 1 through, I guess, 30, and then for capital items. And then what we do after that is we have expense items that goes on to programs for the city agency. Tonight, we're doing is public safety and transportation. So just run down here, as you can see on the left hand side, it says priority number 1 is what we have as the first one for this year. It's as an example, trying to improve access to the building in the park. This year, the park is the boardwalk, and we want this to be fixed, renovated, whatever you want to call it. And the response from the city agency is on the on the right-hand side, saying OMB supports this position as follows, is partially funded, contact the park department for specific. So this, as you can see, is for FY 2023. So when you see it says supported by Councilman Traeger or Councilman Chaim Deutsch, this was last year's request that we had for them. This year we'll have is Councilman Kagan and Councilwoman Vertical, and they'll either support it or give their blessing that they're in agreement with these items. So our first item that we have is on item number 3, which is it's our other request for park building or access improvement.
Excuse me, Eddie, we're gonna do transportation separate from,
No, we're gonna go all the way through the same thing.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
it's just easier instead of trying to divide it because I have to go back.
okay.
But thank you for pointing that out. As you know, we need the shoreline to be protected. In the transportation, we need them to realize that, yes, it's not only a DOT, it's also Army Corps of Engineer, Office of Resiliency and Recovery, DEP, Parks, and other agencies that need to make this happen for a long-term, long-term plans. As you know, this is our 10th year, and as we look back at Sandy, what has happened, we're no better off. And what we have to do is we have to pressure our elected officials to say, what good is all these wish lists if we can't protect our shoreline? So bottom line is, how do we make our DOT safer? So this is number 3, as you can see under DOT, and of course they said this has been reviewed, it's been denied only because it has to deal with multi-agency, so one agency doesn't want to take responsibility for it. So so we still gotta listen to Army Corps of Engineer, figure out what they can do, and hopefully the federal government will come in and help or assist us in figuring out what can be done, whether it's short term or long term. Okay. All right, so the next item is is there any question on this? If not, we can just go on. Number 5. This is number 5. This is to repair or rebuild seawalls or bulkhead. We need to upgrade seawalls and bulkheads, basically because of Sandy. Of course, this is under DOT, and they just said they're denying it for the same reason. It's not in their budget to do so. All right, number 7 is our next one. This is providing surveillance camera, the Argus. We requested this surveillance camera for the Coney Island and Brighton Beach amusement area and the boardwalk, for the other chronic high crime location in the districts. So of course, the agency recommends this request, but at this time, the availability of funds is uncertain, but they support the agency's position. But as you can see, we did request cameras on the boardwalk for a long time, and they're still not willing to fund it yet. Hopefully they'll fund it maybe this year. We don't know. But all this funding also requires maintenance. So that's another thing, that even if they say yes to it, somebody has to maintain it. And it's a big budget to do something like this. But it's our item number 7. All right.
Excuse me, I think it's Lolita just put into the chat something
yeah.
about that. Is she able to speak about putting NYCHA on the 7? I don't know what she.
No, there is a section in NYCHA that actually has cameras. They do ask for other things. This part here is different. This is under the police part. So NYCHA actually as you know, NYCHA is a housing authority, and any authority stands alone by itself, like a port authority.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know
For
what
other
she
people who
was
don't
referring.
know.
Okay.
But there is a section in the NYCHA column that we actually have for the housing part, that we request for cameras or security upgrades for security doors, lights, and cameras. So, but yes, we do know that they need it too. So let me see. All right. And then the next part, it's number
9?
no, number 10.
What's
Nine,
9?
9 and 10, sorry. Cross streets, reconstructing, the street. And this is, of course, trying to reconstruct Brighton Beach Avenue. For people who do not know, Brighton Beach Avenue has concrete on its floor. And because it's harder to not renovate, but to repave it, we are requesting them to do it. I think the last time they did it was 20 years ago, 20 or 30 years ago. Yelena would know, she would tell us, but it's needed. If you've gone down on Brighton Beach Avenue, it's horrendous, and they need support. And at one point it was supported by Councilman Deutsch, but as it came down to it, it became expensive to do it. So they took it out at that time, but we could always ask for it again with this new administration. But that is definitely Michael Russo, what's up?
Why can't they just pave it like 86th Street, still
No,
alive?
it's concrete.
Stop.
It's concrete underneath. The regular street, you just use asphalt on it. But when you're doing the concrete part in this section here on Brighton Beach Avenue, you have to dig it up. And I'm not sure what the procedure is, but they told me it costs more to do it on that.
Concrete is a lot more than paving, but why can't they just recommend to pave it?
It's a
Just
bigger
pave
chunk of the budget. I think last time the budget that went in was like 4 million, but they never got around to it. And when they did get around to it, it cost a little bit more, and they didn't have the money in the budget at that time, so they just took it off.
I still don't understand why they just can't cover with asphalt.
Nah, trust me, if it was that easy, we wouldn't be putting this in.
It is that easy.
No, it's not.
It is that
We're talking about
easy.
the city now. Remember, we're talking
Yeah,
about
but
the city.
everywhere else you go where there's elevated tracks above it, it's asphalt.
Mhm.
I don't know why Brighton Beach Avenue has to have concrete.
I don't know. I'm not the engineer, and we requested them to repave it back then. They told us they couldn't do it, and then when they told us the reason why, we said, "Oh, so we have to put it in as a capital budget then." And they said, "Yes."
Well,
I mean,
make a motion, have it paved.
yeah, no, yeah, and then they're gonna have a bigger pothole problem, because then they're gonna have more of the asphalt uncovered over the what do you call
It's
it?
a street. It's a street.
The street.
Pave
But
it.
like I said,
Goodbye.
don't worry, we can always get that. Okay, thank you. All right, let's see. The next part is number 10,
10.
which is to renovate and make it ADA. Joanne, do you know if
Well,
the
not only do we have to renovate it and make it ADA, but we have a basement in the precinct that's sealed off
okay,
since Hurricane Sandy.
but have they started and finished it yet or not?
No,
yet?
they never even touched it.
Yeah, see,
Nothing's ever been done. That basement is sealed off as
so,
far as
yeah,
I
which
know.
is a shame
And-
because
And
it's
you
a
can't go in it.
whole floor. It's a
Right,
whole
Barbara, am I
floor.
correct?
You're correct. That's what we've been
Yeah.
told.
Okay,
Okay.
Michael, someone,
It's sealed because of the mold
yeah.
that's still
Correct.
growing down there.
Oh,
Right, right.
Putting all of our police
oh yeah,
officers
in danger.
in
sure.
danger because
Yeah.
mold gets into the
Every
air system
Yep.
and so on
you're
and
breathing
spreads that way.
and you're breathing it every day, which is not good for the people
Right.
stationary there.
So
But,
I think this,
no.
I think this takes a top priority as far as PD is concerned.
Sure. Well, I
Can-
mean,
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, sure.
Is it possible to move this up? Because this would be probably less money than some of the other projects that they just
No, it's
laughed
not.
at us about.
No, it's not.
I mean, I don't know whether
No,
or
it's not what?
not. can
No,
be-
it's, no, what do you
No,
mean? No,
No, it's not. In NYCHA, people that had the same problems in their apartment in some of the buildings,
Mhm.
it's not, it's a procedure that have to be done.
yeah, I know,
And-
I know.
Yeah.
I understand that, but why aren't they doing it is the question.
Oh, I don't know why they're not doing it, but I know
Mhm.
about the procedures to remove asbestos and mold.
Mhm.
It's a lot more in that than anything else.
Of not, well, not somebody, not then paving the streets or any of the other things they
Well, they're
objected
not
to because it's
removing
too much.
mold, Michael. They're not
Yeah,
removing mold.
I know, we do that here too, but you know, like, okay, if you guys don't want to move
I
it
mean,
up.
I mean,
mean,
No,
I
that's
would
what-
love
I
to look it
agree.
up.
I mean,
I
it's
agree.
in the top 10 section, which usually gets at least the attention of it. I mean, moving a 1 or 2 blocks, a section down doesn't matter to me. But I'm just saying, looking at what the other priorities are there.
Yeah, what other priorities are, Eddie? My point is they've rejected it because they don't have the funds,
Okay, well,
everything.
yeah, I mean, bottom line, they always ask them to ask the elected officials. That's what it comes down to. You know, if the agency doesn't have the money, they're not gonna recommend it. And then they ask us to ask the elected.
Yeah, well, I
officials.
had our elected official there and he looked at it and you know where that one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, hold on. All right, so. All right, wait, well, let me see what Chris wants. Chris?
Actually, I was going to agree with Michael, Michael Sylvan, because the precincts, you know, due to the fact the precinct is right in the flood zone, that should have been fixed like as soon as possible, as well as NYCHA. But I agree with Michael because this should be listed as priority. If the others are going to be put down, then you know that something needs to be put up. Let's put up the precinct as well as NYCHA. Because NYCHA is being worked on at the same time, but a precinct that we need the NYPD in that area from Coney Island to Brighton Beach.
No, I have
So,
no
we need
problem.
them. We need them for their safety, you know. 60 precinct is a precinct that represents Coney Island, Brighton Beach, and half of Gravesend. And we need to make sure that building is up to code and fixed and for safety for all. So can we?
We
please
know
make-
that. We know that.
I'm making it clear for the record.
You on
For the
our
city.
committee?
No. All right.
So Eddie, could they move this? Could this be moved up
We
to
can move
number
up
one?
one or two spots, but it's not gonna be like top 3. No, it's not. Because I mean, if you're gonna put it all there on top 3, then you're going to kick out, let's see, what's number 3? Improving the boardwalk, improving Coney Island Hospital, and then getting the shoreline fixed.
What are you gonna improve in Coney Island Hospital that hasn't already been done?
C1 Trauma
I
Center.
agree,
Don't go
Joanne.
there. Don't go there. We went there last week. They need it there.
They needed that for 10 years.
Yeah, but we need the police department too, Eddie.
Well, it's up to you how you want to figure this out.
Coney was just fixed for the flood zone. So we need, I know we need a trauma center, but we
Mhm.
also need the precinct where people aren't getting sick.
Yeah, I agree.
Do they have any capital
Well,
funds?
wait. Let's put it this way. Does the 6-0 have any intentions of fixing it? Because we've been asking them for the last 9 years.
It's not the 6-0's decision.
That's,
That's right,
It's
Joanne.
OMB.
That's
It's not
right.
the 6-0's decision. Sure, they want it fixed. But, you know, if OMB says, you know, you're out of luck, then you're out of luck unless somebody pushes them.
Mhm.
Can we
And
keep,
I'm sure they want it fixed, but it's not their decision to make.
could we keep requesting that?
Underwriters and lock them in the
Oh, no,
basement.
we're requesting it still. We're not taking it out. It's just more of if you're gonna move it up, who's going to move up where?
Oh, boy.
I think fixing the precinct is more important than repaving Brighton Beach Avenue.
Okay, I can move
I
one
agree,
up.
Mike,
I can
I
move
agree.
9 to 10 and 10 to 9.
Yes.
But okay, I mean, after that, like I said, the other parts are green infrastructure, which you need, and then you got the camera. You don't
All right,
want.
then it's just switch 9 and 10.
All right, Barbara, you heard that. Switch 9 to 10. I have no problem with switching 9 and 10. All right.
We don't, Eddie, we don't have to make a motion to do
No,
that?
no, we don't have to.
I make the
This-
motion.
All of this
Okay.
is draft. See, when we did it last week, everything here is a draft. Anyone can bring it up later and change it again, but we don't have to do any motions to vote in or not, because this is a draft. This is, our wish list still.
Okay.
Okay, all right, so,
I would like to move that above number.
number 9. Number 9 is gonna be number 8, no, number 10, and number 10 is gonna be number 9.
Well, what's 1,
You
2?
can put that
and
above
3?
number 8.
This is about,
Who cares about green?
you have to, look at you, look at him. He say, who gives that green?
Who cares about green? I want to say
If you don't protect the shoreline, guess what?
No,
You know
no,
what's
no,
gonna
no. I
happen?
didn't
You know what's
say,
gonna happen?
I didn't say
Everything else
protect the
is
shoreline.
moot.
They want to
Everything
turn the
else is
building
moot.
green, big deal.
Everything else is moot. If another hurricane comes in and we fixed up the 60 precinct and another 5-footer comes in because we couldn't protect it before that, then you say, okay, well, maybe we should have fixed the shoreline first before doing the what do you call it? The street, not the street, the precinct. Lolita, sorry.
Can you hear me, Eddie?
Yes, I can hear you.
I just was wondering, are they gonna just look at the first 10 priorities and don't look
It's
down?
basically the first 3 priorities.
Oh,
The first 3, 10 is when they look at everything else in general. But even this, like I said, it's all about funding. Remember, this is not right away either. This is 2 years from now. This is 2024. So
no,
it's
I
not like
understand, but we
they're
were
waiting
talking
on
about
us.
first 10. That's what
Yeah,
my
no,
question
it's
was.
they're in the 10 already. They're in the 10.
Right. No,
So
I
it's
understand, but
just
after
the
10, any priority that come after 10, they're not even gonna look at it?
They'll look at it. They'll look. It's not, but they won't give it a priority to it. You know what I mean? They're not going to.
Understand.
I mean, yeah.
I thought they don't use numbers anymore.
They don't use numbers anymore, but they use it. You have to put it in. You have to list it somehow. So the
Okay.
numbers are there to list.
So if we have something on, say, 1 or 2 and they don't care, they can move it down to 10 or 12.
They can do anything. It's just more of listing. But right
Okay, all
now,
right, let's move it.
okay, let's just move this here. All right, so we'll agree to move 9 to 10 and 10 to 9. All right,
ahead.
number 13 is our next one, which is infrastructure. Let's see, it said, other transportation infrastructure requests. We need to address the parking situation and traffic flow. Area, and then sometime we do it. Okay. And then this basically says, they don't.
Surprise, further study.
So, and like I said, and this is not, let's see. Yeah, it's just more of, like I said, we need to address the parking situation and the traffic flow, and they don't have it at this time.
Yeah, they could do it in the middle of February at 3 o'clock in the morning as usual.
All right,
Yeah, it's usually when there's a snowstorm or something.
Exactly.
well, let's go to number 19. Number 19. All right, improving accessibility of transit infrastructure by providing elevators and escalators. So basically, we want to get the neighborhood ADA accessible to the subway stations. Right now, we requested Brighton Beach here and Ocean Parkway because they are north communities, and of course, they said call the MTA. Chris, you want to give us an update on that?
That's not a problem. To answer your question for Brighton Beach or Ocean Parkway, at this moment, when we're getting ready to do our next capital, they are going to announce what stations. There is a discussion for Brighton Beach, but I do want to remind that it can be between Brighton Beach and Ocean Parkway. They might do more than Brighton Beach station because that station has more passengers going on and off. And since you have an escalator there, that could be replaced by an elevator. and then 2 more elevators for one for the Manhattan side and one for the Coney Island side.
Sure.
So there is a possibility to do it. I think the proposal, if you're going to put proposal 19 in, it needs to be with the stations for Brighton Beach or put in for Ocean Parkway at the same time.
Yeah,
But
this
also,
doesn't say, yes.
yes.
Well,
and
what about Stillwell Avenue?
Gloria,
So
it's
the
ADA accessible.
It's accessible with the wheelchair. You can actually wheelchair them up.
Well,
It's
how
a
about
ramp.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, Lolita?
I just want to say that, I saw there was they published actually which stations they're going to be putting ADA accessible. I think Brighton Beach was the one, because they say it's every other station on the line.
They were hoping to do that, but right now.
Actually,
Mhm.
Eddie, the answer to your question,
Mhm.
the list of the stations for this capital from 2020 to 2024, the names of the stations were, the nearest station would be Sheepshead Bay.
Mm.
They put in. When we did discuss this in 2 years ago, or possibly 2019,
Mhm.
I did ask everyone to please put in a support letter for stations.
Mhm.
The only station that it got beaten to was Sheepshead Bay.
Mhm.
Brighton Beach came in second place. So there is still something to put in.
Mhm.
Ocean Parkway was nowhere near supporting letters.
And
But I'm
also
still-
the F train is also scheduled to be retrofitted.
Yes, but not at this moment now. Right now, the stations that are going to be getting it in the outside, in the border areas right now is Sheepshead Bay,
Mhm.
Kings Highway on the F,
Mhm.
all the nearest stations in the community board area. Right now, you still have Bay Parkway outside of Community Board 13.
Mhm.
And Kings Highway on the B and Q. Right now, the F train is listed to be the next listed for RFP, but nothing else in this area. The nearest area, I will say southbound on the 8th Avenue on the end. That has to be done because that's behind schedule.
Okay. All right.
So if anyone wants Brighton Beach, and I strongly agree with you all, definitely that one.
Mhm.
I will strongly say Community Board 13, please keep Brighton Beach and Ocean Parkway on your list. But any other stations you want to add in this area for 13, I will also say Bay 50th on the D. It's still in your zone
Mhm. True.
also. And 86th Street on the N train, since that's technically both of you. Technically, you're in the board. It's both 13 still,
Nope, that's good.
13, 15. So it's really a flip a coin.
Oh,
Okay,
also,
let's move it.
okay, in the chat, we wrote complaint. Yeah, it should be compliant. Just make a note of that, Barbara. It should say ADA compliant. Yeah, we wrote complaint. Let's see. Number 20 is our next one, which is upgrade communication equipment to improve emergency response. Basically, we need more Wi-Fi towers to help us out. And of course, FDNY has to still see if it's doable. Also, we know that Link NYC is trying to come down here. They have the first round, which of course is lower Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, and central Brooklyn. It's harder for them to come to Coney Island or South Brooklyn because they have to jump over central Brooklyn first. So they're doing it in progression, and hopefully within 5 years or so, they said that they should be getting to our area. Okay.
Mhm.
But we definitely
Right.
need it still because I know people on the beach can't get Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So it's always needed if the fire department needs it too. All right. So the next page, which is 22. Other NYPD facility and equipment. This is, oh yeah, basically we need additional bikes, segways, gators for the 60 precinct to reduce the heavy what do you call it? Basically we want them to not use the heavy equipment on the boardwalk if they can use these gators, bicycles, and segways. Do they still have segways there, Barbara?
Yes,
Right? Okay.
yes.
I haven't seen it this year as much. but I know that they have the gators and the bicycles. So, that's good. So basically we want them to have this.
What's up? I'm on the
And
meeting.
they said that, yes, someone
Okay,
with
all
funding
right.
needed and design increase on even count further. Okay. So this is still our priority in here. Our next one is number 26, which is other transportation infrastructure requests. We need to a study. Well, this is a long shot, but we need a study to see if there's an on and off ramp constructed at Stillwell Avenue and Shore Parkway to alleviate traffic in the area. Basically, as you know, there's only 3 or 4 exits out of the area. One is through the Belt Parkway on Cropsey, and the other one is on Ocean Parkway. And once those get jammed up, it's just hard to get out. Someone recommended this to see if they were able to put one in on Stillwell Avenue along Shore Parkway. So, but of course, they just said it was denied, but contact the borough commissioner's office for detail. All right, but we should ask, like I said, we still need something like this to go out of the area. Number 29, repair or provide new street lights. This basically we just needed some better lighting along Brighton Beach Avenue. And they said we have to give them specific location, but it's basically all of Brighton Beach Avenue because it's underneath the what do you call it, the subway lines, so it's dark. So we just want them to know that we need additional lighting for this. All right, Chris?
Excuse me, Eddie.
Yes.
I had my hand up. There is something important about Brighton Beach Avenue. It's not just the light bulb that also needs to be checked,
Sure.
but the curb cuts need to be also make sure it's cleared because a lot of them are not fixed properly and they need to be checked. And
Well, I
there's been
know
a
that
lot of-
they've started doing some along Coney Island Avenue and Brighton Beach Avenue, the bigger
Yes.
intersections first. The smaller ones, I'm not sure if they've gotten to it yet or if they're going to do it, but the heavy congested section like Coney Island Avenue and Brighton Beach Avenue has been done.
yeah, but there's according to right now, they as I did have met with DOT, there are still some of them that when the way they've been fixed and where Michael mentioned about Brighton Beach Avenue with the concrete, that
Sure.
area still needs to be fixed either way because it's
Oh, yeah,
not
no.
ADA safe. Because
Well,
we almost had a senior fell almost in front of a B68 bus.
Okay, well, that's number 30, which is improve the public safety, including traffic calming. So that is still in there. So it just answer our question that we do understand that, and we want them to get neck down, providing a safe refuge for pedestrians to wait to cross the street. Then they shorten the effective crossing distance for pedestrian, and they do not take away parking spaces. So that's basically what we have from 29 to 30. So they're both in there to address that issue. Okay, and yes, all right. So that's it for the capital part. There's a continued support, which is rehabilitate the firehouse. I'm not sure if they need any more rehabilitating. We have to double check, Barbara. We have to find out if we still have to support them in what do you call it, rehabilitating or renovating the existing firehouse for Battalion 43, only because we were concerned about them before with Sandy. And now it's, I hate to say, it's 10 years later. If they haven't gotten it fixed yet.
I'll check it, Ed.
Yeah, we just double check with that because we can take this off for the next time. The
Station
one,
43 is different than Battalion 43.
huh?
Station 43 is different than Battalion 43.
It's Battalion 43.
Station 43 is behind Coney Island Hospital.
No, oh no, you're right.
Battalion 43 is on West 8th
That's
Street.
Street. We're talking about Battalion 43. Yes.
All right,
The
they have
station-
that station.
the
Oh,
station-
we have another fire station in Coney Island also.
On Neptune Avenue.
Neptune Avenue.
Yeah,
But
it's like the forgotten fire station.
yeah.
Yes.
But like I said, we'll find out from the battalion because the battalion overrules everybody. They oversee everything. The chiefs will let us know what's doable or if it's been done for them. But the station 43 that's over by Coney Island Hospital is now secure with the new seawall around Coney Island Hospital. If you haven't seen it yet, Coney Island Hospital now has an official seawall fence, concrete fence, and it's there to stay. So it's a good thing that they fixed it up there. All right, the next one is the one down below. Well, this basically is community board. Well, see, Barbara, we still need to move out of community board to move down.
Yeah, but that's not under this. That's
It's
not
continued
under,
support. It's continued support means that.
yeah, well, yeah, but that's not under transportation.
No, I know. I'm just letting her know that it's still.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
So let's just move it.
haven't yet.
You're getting stuck on that one.
Okay, the one above it is what I really want to look at, which is repair and construct new curb cuts, pedestrian ramps, and we just want to see about any other outstanding curb cuts that has been destroyed. I think we're going to take this one off, Barbara, because I think, like I said, 10 years later, if they haven't done anything that's that could be done, it should not be here. Okay, Chris, what?
Excuse me, Eddie, point of information, that should still be on because a lot of these curb cuts, even in Coney Island, as well as along Surf Avenue, have not been fixed even after Sandy or before Sandy, and it still needs to be put, but it needs to be saying accessibility.
Oh,
Because
right.
the DOT accessibility person needs to see that, so therefore we can, bring it up a notch.
Okay, all right. So Barbara, we got right to where we write the word accessibility. We need to. Yeah.
Anywhere you gotta put it in to make sure it's English in.
Okay, so we'll put the
Don't
word
say that.
accessibility in there. Okay. All right. All right. So now we're going into our expense. This is where anything that's not structural is considered an expense. It's more programs, studies, and stuff like that. So our top 1, 2, and 3 are basically traffic study, congestion studies, and parking operations. So the first one, we need a traffic and signal to coordinate the traffic flow for coming out, both coming and outgoing of the area. So they support it, but we still gotta contact them. They gotta figure out when they're gonna do it. Actually, they started doing it, if you realize, what do you call that? DOT, what was it? Within the last month.
Questionnaires?
The questionnaire, thank you. That's the word, questionnaire. And if you guys haven't filled out, you have till the end of the month. It's been on our newsletter that you can scan or QR it, and you can see it. And it's very simple. Well, no, it's not actually simple. It's very comprehensive. It asks questions about where do you see congestion buildup, what are things that are in the area that deals with the problems of parking, and just fill out. It asks people where do you feel more attention is needed in the area, and some idea areas are Cropsey Avenue and Neptune Avenue.
Yeah.
Section there, Stillwell and Surf Avenue, Brighton Beach and Coney Island Avenue, Ocean Parkway and Neptune Avenue, and et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, these things you fill out. Don't let us dictate what you guys feel is has more impact to you, but if you do, fill it out.
Remap Park Place.
What was that?
Remap Park Place.
Yes. Oh God. They hopefully will be finished in 2023/2024. They're still putting the pipes in.
No. Remap Park Place behind the gas station.
Oh,
That
that
goes to
one.
19th Street.
No.
That goes to 19th Street.
Yeah,
One in, one way out.
we asked the DOT that question, and the only thing is they said that they don't have the clearance of the back of the building. So
It's called eminent domain.
yeah, sure, but then where do the cars park there?
They could do it on Cropsey Avenue because Cropsey Avenue can have half the traffic.
Yeah, well, like I said, we still ask that question, but the whole thing is more of it's going to take a lot more what do you call it, pressure from the elected official to say,
Pressure from us, make a letter.
yeah, well, like I said, we can do that too. Okay, but these are, like I said, are programs and surveys and studies, and the other one is to address traffic congestion. You know, all right, it's
I'm
just
gonna open a traffic company to do a survey.
well, like you said,
Yeah.
they're the ones that.
How many
Yeah.
surveys do we need until somebody says, okay, now you have a problem, let's do something?
Well, no,
I've been surveys for the last 35 years.
I think they know that there's a problem.
Yeah.
The question is, what can they do to solve it? We know the problem. The question is,
Yeah.
what is the solution? Nobody knows the solution, and these
There is a
studies
solution,
are
but nobody wants
really
to,
out there.
nobody wants to fess up to it.
Well, like
Yes,
I said,
thank you very much, Michael.
okay,
Very
I
well.
agree with Michael, because there is an issue also with when the B1's entering Coney Island Avenue, Brighton Beach Avenue.
Yeah.
It's very congested at Brighton
yeah.
11 also,
sure.
too.
Yeah,
So
true.
there is a
And
lot
they have redone Brighton 11 where you can't turn down the street. You can't make a left turn. Is that a left turn?
they're still doing left turns, Eddie. They still do right turns.
Whichever it is, but they have tried it and they are going to figure it out. And if they don't, they gotta figure out the traffic patterns because all these need stuff.
The traffic issue right there, Eddie, is when the B1's getting ready to pick up customers at Coney Island Avenue, they cannot get into the stop.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
you have cars like to worry about making a right turn or race or ready to hit a pedestrian, which it's their walkway, their way, right away, but the B1 cannot get into the stop. The one has to stop almost 6.5 feet.
Can we,
off the stop.
can we take this to a time
Yeah, I
that
mean,
it should
like
be
I
and
said,
not part of this?
Yeah, this
So we
this
just
is like I
move
said,
along.
we're not waiting 2 years for that. This is
Right.
more of 2 years in the making. So we can address that again when we do have another transportation committee, and see what other things can be done with it. Okay. All right. Number 3 is to improve parking operations. As you know, we need to improve the parking operation leased by the city-owned properties for offsite parking. This should be either this site should have either a shuttle for people to travel to and from the area. And of course, they denied it. They don't know. They don't have any offsite operations right now. But between you and I, guys, this is long term. But you really should think of this is come, let's say 3 to 5 years from now, when Coney Island Hospital is finished, the parking lot that's underneath the Belt Parkway will be vacated. So this can be an off-site parking.
Well, it could have been an off-site parking.
No. It's right
use
now
it.
for the hospital. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
It's for the
talking about
hospital now.
before.
No,
when it
well, like I said, somebody had to flip the bill for it. Coney Island Hospital is flipping the bill for it now. After it leaves, somebody has to take over it. The
They
city's
use
not going to take over it, but a private entity could take it over and then see what happens afterwards. But that is a site that can be off-site parking.
They used to lease that to bus companies. I don't.
Yeah,
don't-
but now
that's gonna happen.
that they have cleaned it up, it might be parking for the buses on the school years, school months, and during the summer month it could be rented to for visitors. So like I said, that's something for the DOT to look into. Okay, so moving on right along, this goes pretty far in. Go to number 32. Oh yeah, we skip a lot, guys.
Thank God.
Yeah. Okay. And number 32, okay, this basically is to
Oh,
hire
jeez.
the additional school safety agents. Yes, it's always needed. As you know, they said the budget of it's specific budget headcount. Agencies working to fill in the vacancy in order to get to that headcount. The only thing that we have to also be concerned is they're doing cuts right now. The next fiscal calendar, they're going to go cutting 3%, 4%, and it's not looking good for anybody because they're cutting everybody. And
So-
so
So I guess
it's just
33's out also.
sure, yeah. So something like this.
Eddie,
Yes,
32 with school safety, they hiring more people. They already have it out,
okay.
information for school safety, and mayor's office said that they, with the Board of Education, going to be hiring like a couple of
Oh,
hundreds.
good. Okay, all right. Well, then that's good. So we hopefully don't have to worry about it. But they, like I said, based on their head count, they're filling the vacancies.
1,000 city schools.
Yeah, it's a lot. And also with what's been happening with kids after school, is additional safety guards or safety agents are good to help out with the kids, moving them to and from the subways or to the buses. And that's why we're keeping number 33 too, where it's higher additional crossing guard, keeping kids, okay. And then, and that's a needed information that we need. The next one's the next page is number 34. Same thing, hire additional traffic enforcement agent. As you know, this is
They have to be a Community Board 13 only.
I know it's all over. Yeah. So this is basically
No, if we recommend the hire them, they gotta work in our district, otherwise why recommend?
I'm not sure, John, how do you get the traffic enforcement agent?
It go as you need them, but traffic agents are an entity unto themselves.
So
That's
we
why I
basically-
always have a problem. You can't order them to work on weekends.
That's right.
That's why, yeah, I mean, we were
Yeah.
very lucky this summer that I got that many, but
Mhm.
they're like an entity unto themselves. And if you're gonna ask, you're not gonna get for
Yeah.
just here.
So it's always good to hire
So let Joanne.
more traffic enforcement agents so that the more they have, at least then they can spread it out.
And trust me, if you put into hire, if they hire 20, we'll get one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And
Oh, so
every
the
place
more
else
they
in
hire,
the
the
city
more-
will get the other 19.
sure. And then, all right, the number 36, hire additional uniform officer. We need. Yeah, basically, yeah, this.
We ain't, not with this mayor, you're not.
But we're leaving here. So number 37, increasing, of course, youth crime prevention program. I'm sure they have a lot now, right? Joanne, youth.
Yeah,
Youth
I
coordinator
don't know.
officers.
I think we have a new coordinator.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, I think we have a new coordinator,
Okay.
but
Well, hopefully they'll be there tomorrow, right, at the meeting?
I don't know, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah. Oh, for people who don't know, Barbara, Joanne is the president of the 60 Precinct Council, and tomorrow night is the first meeting that's gonna be in person at
In person at the church.
the church. So 7 o'clock, people can
Right.
make it because it's important. Like I said, we're talking about budget items, but if don't wait 2 years for these things to come through. If they're more pressing, it should be brought up at the precinct, and those things are needed to be addressed quicker. Can be brought up at this time, at these meetings, and something like that is a value time for the public to have their voice be heard. All right, the next one is 41. Oh, this you can handle, Chris. We're trying to expand frequency hours of the SVS bus, the B82, that ends at Cropsey Avenue. It should continue all the way to Stillwell. During the summer.
Eddie, Eddie, I can answer this question
Yes,
because this
answer
has
that.
been brought up. To answer your question, I had the meeting about this because I knew you were going to bring this up, so they want me to mention it. Plus, I spoke to Frank today. This is going to be discussed by the Brooklyn redesign.
Okay, all right,
Oh.
that's good.
So just the way I want. Can I?
Go ahead.
Because the 82 SVS right now, yes, it's been running outside the Community Board 13 because it starts at Bay 38 AKA where the B6 starts as well.
Yes.
There is still your concerns, complaints are still been on record, and it's still being mentioned that the 82 SPS needs to come into Coney Island. Now, the truth is there is a redesign program going on because due to the fact we were delayed due to COVID, we should be hearing coming this fall, which I don't have information, the date, the time of this time, but the redesign for draft number 1, I'm going to make that clear. Eddie, you heard me saying draft number 1.
Okay.
Will be a draft, and I will suggest strongly everyone to please put that in again, as well as any other bus you need to think to be fixed. I know the 36 needs to stop and beginning at West 37th and do a loop to make it easier for every senior and people with disabilities. But this is going to be listed as redesign. And Eddie, yes,
It stays in. That's it.
I know.
I'm just gonna, Joanne, I was just gonna say that. So I second your motion.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, good.
All right, so the last two is number 44 and 45. This came in last year. Basically seeing if the G train can come down to Stillwell. It was nice to have people connect from I guess from the G line directly to Coney Island. We're hoping that they can keep it either permanent or at least during the summertime. Instead of having them exchange off on the F train and at Court Street or Court Square, wherever. Okay, but
Can I ask Chris a question?
yes,
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Michael. Good to see you.
Okay, if they want to make the G come to Coney Island, which line would it run on?
It will still be running on the F line
yeah,
because
Why
it
don't
runs
they
on
just
the
bring the
cross
F
town.
Express?
The F Express is still running, but only in the rush hour. There is a proposal to run more frequently Fs, which I did put this in with the MTA, and I know, Eddie, I hope you put it in, that we requested that all the Kings Highway Fs should be the express Fs, and the Coney Island bound Fs should be the local or the opposite direction. But right now, as ridership is rising, they're trying to get the F Express back to full strength. But due to the fact that the G train, where it ends right now, it ends at Church Avenue, which is a 5-car train. There's no way to get the G train to come any down. The only time you'll see it coming down is it going into the Coney Island yard.
Okay.
And regarding the B train, also the request for extending the B to Stillwell Avenue, that's going to be the only time the B will come to Coney Island unless there's a delay on the Q train, and the B will be the next extending train into Stillwell. Where it is right now, terminating at Brighton Beach, right now it's been doing actually a better job than the D train right now, because we've been having problems with the D with short crews, and some Bs have been extended to 205. And just to remind everyone, we're only up to 95% of drivers and conductors. We're still waiting for the next set of more of the crews to be coming on. Right now, we are really short on other lines. So the A line is getting hit the worst. But right now, the B, the D, the F, the Q, the N, the R, and the W, since they all come out of Coney Island, we have not had that bad shortness of crews.
okay.
On that.
Next, Eddie.
All right, so
Anything else?
the last part is requesting the B line. Chris told me the answer for this.
All
but
right,
the
so we
line-
already did
No,
that.
wait. To come to the end of Stillwell Avenue Terminal instead of stopping at Brighton Beach Avenue. Go ahead, Chris. Why can't we have it?
The reason I just said again, Eddie, the B train has a longer line. It goes all the way up to Bedford Park Boulevard. And also, the only time it would come into Stillwell Avenue if it's going into the yard. And it does sometimes still take customers unless there's congestion. Right now, there has been report when the Bs are going into the yard, the Q trains are also being blocked. So we do have delay in service.
Okay. All right. So
And there's got to be a limit of service, making sure that there's still northbound service.
true. Okay. So that concludes what we have for our budget and requests for the expense, capital and expense. So my question to you guys, the panel here, is there anything that we're missing or something that we've forgotten or should be put in? Or do we request and ask for, as I say, more of the necessary items? As I said before, these are pretty much a wish list of items that we want to come to the area. Even though that they can't fund them, it still does not mean it's not needed. So something like this, we keep it as a reminder for them. Some of them, as we mentioned before, can be moved up and down the line. That's not a problem doing. And sometimes certain things come up that wasn't here 2 or 3 years ago, like COVID, and then we put it in now. So let's go with Michael first, and then Tatiana. Michael.
Like I said before, remap Hard Place.
Yes.
Put that in the-
I'll see where I can put it in. Okay, I can. Put it in.
You asked for a recommendation.
Yes, we can do
There's
that.
my recommendation.
Barbara, just put it in. I'll figure out the wording for it, and we'll put it in.
Remap Hard Place.
Okay. Trust me, Michael. I live on 19th Street, so I don't mind it to go in and out of that area. But I do understand the alleviating the problem from Cropsey Avenue and Neptune Avenue intersection.
So then what's the problem?
Because it's, like you said, it's eminent domain. If you public domain, you have to go and take some of those property backyards and.
You mean like they moved us out of Coney Island and
Yeah, but these are
said you
business
get out
people.
because we're destroying
Like I
you?
said,
Yeah.
these are business people, and like I said, they're
It
the
used to be a street.
sure, it used to be, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like
I
I said,
remember it.
yeah, okay. Well, like I said, we can ask them for it again and see what it comes about. Okay. And next we have is
Next in-person meeting, I'm gonna blow up a map.
I have the map. We have the map.
Next in-person meeting, I'm gonna blow up a map.
All right. So Tatiana. Sigo?
Yes, yeah, I just want to propose to add additional item. I'm just wondering if we can ask NYCHA as a major landlord in this area and a stakeholder to install surveillance cameras along the perimeters of their developments, such as Surfside Gardens or Dwyer.
If you went through the budget request, we did put it in there. I know we did. It was under security, front door.
Yeah, Eddie, we
safety,
did.
Locks, and it is in there. So don't worry. It has not been forgotten. We did put it.
Yeah.
But remember, this part is not under the NYCHA section. It was under the housing and NYCHA. That was the other week when Michael was running the meeting.
Not
I
just,
got
yeah, I think this, I'm sorry, I think the surveillance camera should be not near the doors only, but along the perimeters of the whole development, like along the backyard.
I don't know what the procedure is of putting a camera up on property. I mean, usually it's for protection on the front door. Around the perimeter, it might be a little bit more expensive. But usually the first part is right by the doors or the elevators. Around the perimeters, I hate to say it, if you're out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, you shouldn't be out there at 2 o'clock in the morning for the surveillance camera to pick you up. But
Excuse me, Eddie.
yeah.
Just to mention NYCHA, because my colleague who lives in NYCHA does have the cameras also in the NYCHA outside area. So
Like I
there is
said,
a possibility.
Yes, but like I said,
Yes,
I don't
and
know.
that should also be brought up with a city council combined, and should be, if it could be added into the proposal, it might even work, because I'm seeing this also being added into other boroughs and other NYCHAs.
Okay, well, we have requested it, so it's not like it's not there. I'm sure our elected officials, Councilman Kagan, has been on top of it. So this
Right.
like they said, they're not waiting 2 years for this. Trust me, they're not waiting 2 years. If this is in their budget or discretionary funds that they can actually pull out and make it work now, don't wait. They're not going to wait 2 years. If there's a crime happening or an incident happening that's more immediate, they're not waiting for this budget to say, oh, we need something like this on the perimeter. I know our councilman has been working with the NYCHA with getting cameras on the facilities with what's been happening in the area. So I don't doubt them, not doing that. So is there any other information or ideas or?
Yes, could I speak?
Yeah. Go.
I was sitting here brainstorming about the 60 precinct.
Mhm.
I don't know. I came up with a thought. If we could get the community involved with a massive petition and have it addressed to whatever city agency besides One Police Plaza covering this or getting this, that Joanne, don't hide your face. I see
No,
you.
I'm not hiding my face. I'm not hiding my face. I'm listening to you. I'm not, no,
I just came up with an idea.
no, no.
Good idea. Okay, well, okay, all right,
If
let's
we
hear
could
it.
get a massive petition out
Mhm.
for the 60 precinct.
Okay.
That's not only including us on the community board and the committee, that's including the whole between Brighton Beach and back on this end. I don't know, maybe I watch too much TV, but in other communities, when they want something and they have a hard time getting it, they rally, which we might not have to do, but do a strong petition and see if the unions, the PBA, the SPA, all the unions that come in tied with the precinct officers and workers, even the civilians.
Okay.
I mean, that's just an idea.
Okay. All right. That I'm not sure how it could work.
Just a petition and have it addressed, give it to the
Can I-
city council
Go ahead,
or
John.
whatever.
Can I just say something before we, first of all, I have to say that this is a wish list. And if you really want something done, this is not going to get it done because they just look at it and push it to the side. If anything really major has to be done immediately, we have to go to our elected officials and push them because that's the only
Okay.
way to get something
Okay.
done. And as far as the precinct is concerned, just understand that if we go and we really push this, it may mean that we have to move these guys out of the building. So it's something that would have to be very highly organized. And before I would say, let's do a petition and get it out in the street, I would have to talk to the inspector.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
would.
Besides the inspector, you need somebody that covers the buildings department for all the precincts. 'Cause if
Yeah,
they
I
could-
know that. Yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
If they could build a new precinct in Staten Island, they could do something here.
yeah. So, I mean, like you said, you have to get the elected officials to come on board and see if they can do something like that. But if you guys want to hear my wish list, it's something that hasn't been put up yet, but it's an interesting concept if it works. Is how these high rises are coming up right now, right? They're all being
Right.
built. One location over by West 6th Street and Neptune Avenue is being built right now by Ryback. And
It's Schroens, right back.
no. The one diagonally across from Sharon is Ryback, and directly across the street from
McDonald's.
You got it. So if we
Oh, that one.
if we can put a wish list, I don't know how this is gonna work, but if it could be done. Right now, they're building the building right now as we speak. So to build something, to ask them to build something next to it, like a new police station, is a very big ask because
Next to it, where?
because there is a NYPD vandals unit, which is in a trailer right now.
I know, yeah.
Looks very, very disheartening to the neighborhood. Or let's put it this way: the real estate value is going to go down because it looks like a trailer over there. But if we can get somehow the developer or a developer to come and get the unit over there to be fixed up and have the precinct move over there. I don't know if it could be done. or-
What is, what, number one, what
Shell
is he?
Road. I think he's referring to Shell Road, not West Sixth. Sorry.
Shell Road, yes, Shell Road
Yeah,
and
I know it, I know what he's
Yeah.
talking
so
about.
it's right by the Neptune.
What is
Avenue.
he building there? Because originally that site,
It's a 16-story apartment building.
originally that site was supposed to be two buildings
Sure,
with a
yes.
pool in between.
But
And then they
there-
only built the one building.
and he's
Right.
only building one building now, but our suggestion, if it was quick enough, but I don't think it's quick enough. But to see the developer there wanting to build the precinct house for them, what they could do, if it's possible, is to what I would call a building swap. If they took if they would build this new building here, they will be able to take the old building, which is where the 60th precinct is, and have it for their use to build whatever they want to on there.
No,
Oh,
that's not gonna
Never
happen.
work.
So the
Never,
idea-
ever. Don't-
So the
That's
idea,
really smoking
I know.
straight
So
cigarettes.
the idea there is he's gaining real estate property, whereas he would be building a new precinct for. the community.
You're not getting rid of that precinct. You
But
gotta
no-
remember, that's like, that was originally the courthouse here in Brooklyn. You don't go
But-
back as far as I
Yes,
do.
but it doesn't mean anything if it doesn't have a basement that's not used.
Yeah,
If it has to
well,
be
yeah,
ADA
but
compliant, and if
it's
it has to have,
Yeah.
what do you call
Not
it,
gonna
electric
happen.
charging stations for the new fleets that they're gonna be coming in.
not
So
gonna
instead
happen.
of putting money in a money pit, why don't they build something new?
Why is that a money pit? If they fix up the
If-
basement, what's its
Uh,
money
that-
pit?
How much is it
All
gonna
they have to
cost?
do is fix the basement.
How much is it
And
gonna
put an
cost?
elevator in too.
And the elevator too for ADA. That's gonna take
And-
away
And
space,
you're gonna say that that's
And-
more,
and they're gonna take away parking space in the back because they have to put electric what do you call it, charging stations back there for these new cars. There
Yeah,
are,
they don't have the
they're coming,
space
trust me,
back
they're
there.
coming. You think they're not, they're coming. Everything here is gonna be getting green, and you know what? Everything is gonna become modernized. I mean, we might not say it in our timeline, but
but what are you talking about putting electric stations for the police cars?
you don't think they're going to have electric?
Yeah,
fleet
I
cars?
do that, but what does that have to do with losing the back, that parking lot?
Yeah, they have to renovate. You have to put lines in there. You have to put electrical.
I know you
power
do,
there.
but you don't lose, you still have the spots. It's not, yeah,
You
like
ha-
they
you
did
have to
over
put money into
in 3000 Ocean Parkway. They put in a load of spots that
Mhm.
are docking stations for electric, but once you finish, you go in a spot. They
Mhm.
don't lose that many spots.
But like I said, if you want a brand new station for the police officer, you can actually have them get that spot there.
I'll faster get the basement fixed and they'll tell me that they'll build a new station.
Well, I
outside.
wish they could fix the basement quick if they didn't wait
They
10 years
probably
later.
they probably
Eddie.
could build a new building and to fix the basement.
Yeah, that's what I
Eddie.
say. But like I said, that's my wish list from
Right.
God,
right.
eyes and God's ears, whatever. But I think it's something that we just need to look and think outside of the box. Things
Right.
happening around here, you ask for community benefits. If they say yes, we got one in. But if they say no, well, how can they help us with a station house that needs to be fixed? No.
Right.
So, Michael.
You want to move the precinct? What about the fire station? What about the
Yeah, right.
parking?
The
You're
fire
gonna
station's
put-
staying there.
For more, I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
You're gonna put more apartments right next to the train tracks. Who wants to live by train tracks? I did when I was a kid. It wasn't fun. I lived on Stowell Avenue.
Wow.
If they
Yeah.
make it, if they make it affordable, if it makes
Your
it.
your wish list, your wish is more like a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, like I said, you guys can only wish, if you don't say it, you don't know if it's gonna happen.
You don't, I learned you don't ask, you don't get, but that's
Yep,
something
That's it.
you're
Well-
never gonna
So,
get.
so if you don't ask, you're not gonna get things. But that's a wish list that's not going on here right now. Sorry, but it's going to,
Good.
like I said, it's something that can be addressed in future generations. Like I said, it might not happen in our time, but they're gonna have to come and fix it. They're gonna have to. And if they don't, they're gonna get fined by ADA, what do you call it, the government, they're gonna come in and
Why? The
Chris, what did
federal's
you
gonna
do, Chris?
come in, they haven't come in yet, and everybody knows it's toxic down there, so.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So other than that, is there any other items or old business, new business?
Under public safety, anybody got any old business?
No.
And any new business? Well, I'll see you all tomorrow.
All right, and
Yeah.
Rita, is there any old business, new business for transportation? Nothing.
There was something about Selena always asking about on 37th Street, there's some dangerous turns. I don't know if there's any follow-up on that.
Oh, is that, you mean where they got the
New stop sign.
sign? Because the commissioner almost got hit by a car, so he agreed to do it after 10 years.
No,
Mhm.
40 years. Rabbi Rena told us it was
Maybe
40
50
years.
years.
Yeah, right. We've been asking and begging, and he came out to survey. He almost got clipped by a car, so 1, 2, 4, no,
Mhm.
guess what?
We have to invite him more often on different dangerous
Yeah,
corners.
right, on different corners, and have somebody almost clip him, and maybe then we'll get what we need.
Okay,
That's what I'm talking
Michael,
about.
are you raised a hand or it's still up?
I still took it down.
Okay, let's see, Chris.
Eddie, this is Chris. Yeah. Just the way I want to know about West 37th Street, it is being investigated right now what the DOT accessibility as well as the MTA accessibility, because there is reports of problems with the bus stops
Oh,
so right now those are being checked right now. I have already been out there the other week. So they're being checked along those stops. That's also from the Surf, Mermaid, going all the way around to West
Yeah.
33rd. So
okay.
there are certain stops that need to be adjusted, especially that machine thing for DOT. It's definitely broken because they have not repaired it. So that I'm waiting for DOT accessibility to get back. Everything that was supposed to have been fixed has not been reported to accessibility DOT, and the person who was supposed to report this, she is now has to answer to accessibility and to Donna Rodriguez, period.
All right.
Okay,
Okay. All right. If there's no other thing,
if
No.
there's nothing else, we can close the meeting. I move we close the meeting.
I second that emotion.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
That's-
guys. All right.
Good
we'll
night,
see you
and I'll
guys-
see you
we'll
all tomorrow night
Tomorrow night. You see,
Okay.
we'll see Joanne in person. Okay.
in person. Yep, the first day for 2
Night,
years.
everybody.